The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
Well, we've got no Debbie Russ today, Julie.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know, so you've got to fill in.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Okay, you're very good at filling in.
Thanks, I think.
Okay, today on The Dating Show, we're talking about weather. So you've had a look at this. So hot and humid, does it make people hot and horny?
Well, that's a very good opener. I suppose it depends how people react to the hot weather, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, so is there any sort of scientific facts behind this, that if it's nice and sunny, then people are happier and sort of maybe a bit more accommodating on a first date?
There is actually. There has been studies done that highlights that when it's sunny, people are actually more likely to be more generous. So if you're going on a first date, for example, and the sun is shining, then there's a possibility that you might get spoilt rotten or want to spoil your date more than you would if it was pouring with rain. So yes, there has been research done that people do feel more generous when the sun is shining, and that when it's winter or when it's pouring with rain, very windy, etc., it does have a tendency to make people feel more negative. So when it's sunny, people are more likely to spend their money because the sunshine makes people feel more positive. Whereas if it's raining, people are more inclined to sort of to stay huddled indoors and not so keen to go out, try new things, do new experiences, and be so generous. Yeah.
And things like snow, does that sort of snow and an open fire, does that sort of help in any way at all, do you think?
It can do. Again, it depends when the time of year is. For example, if it's pouring with rain on a lovely June day when you would think it should be sunny, then immediately people can be put in the wrong frame of mind before they even go on the date, especially if you'd had something planned, like a picnic, for example, and then the weather shows it's not going to be so good. Then people aren't going to be quite as happy as they would have been. But in the winter, when you're expecting it to be cold and snowy and wintry, the idea of maybe going for a brisk walk outdoors somewhere in the countryside and then sitting by a log fire, sampling some of a nice pub fare, then that could be equally as appetising as going for a picnic on the beach in the summer. Yeah.
And do you think, should you sort of look at the weather forecast before arranging a date?
I think it does pay to do so, yes. There's also been a survey done that discovered that men, funnily enough, are more likely to respond to unexpected weather by changing their plans. So, for example, say they thought it was going to be a sunny day and they then find out, because that's what the weather told them, and the next day it's actually raining, then they're saying, well, let's not do what we're going to do. Maybe we could do X, Y, and Z. Whereas women, obviously this is a generalisation, not across the board, aren't as quick or as keen to adapt or modify what they plan to do. So therefore the weather could potentially affect the date and their mood, possibly. So yeah, I would say it does pay to look at the weather and plan accordingly, yes.
Okay, and what sort of weather do you prefer?
Sunny, all the way sunny. I mean, I don't mind if it's a bit blowy and a bit rainy, but if I had the choice, then all-day sunshine would be my absolute preference, yeah.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.